Admittedly, I have the same thirst as this old man, but just for the Epstein files.
3, 2, press it all the way out on one time. Your challenge point, hold it here. We bring it.
That dirty old man, as there's a lot of dirty old dogs out there, part of the CIA cover-up crime family that have been denying us the truth of the larger major events that have unfolded in American history. As the biggest one just received, quote, 80+ thousand files. Some of them are now redacted, but we just got a big bombshell from the Congresswoman that is a part of the task force that is releasing all of this, now pointing the blame directly at NBC News, as there's a lot of lore here, and what she's onto, what she's hinting specifically, I think could bring us closer to the truth than all of these declassified documents. What is it? Well, that's what we are going to be discussing here in a full, comprehensive perspective with understanding the intel agencies, its history, and the cover-up of the last century. All of this is, as we just got breaking news, that NBC News has obtained footage allegedly showing Lee Harvey Oswald near JFK's limousine at the moment of his assassination that, quote, proves definitively that he was not the shooter. A big bombshell. Why would NBC cover this up? We'll get into that here in a little bit, as now the conspiracy world is abuzz. Who do you believe? As some people are saying, it could be AI, it could be disinformation, it could be a psyop within a psyop, but these are the latest statements that we got from Fox News as Congresswoman Anna Paulina, who is a part of the Oversight Committee, the woman who, of course, has been the biggest cheerleader of declassifying and getting these documents out there to the general public, just announced this on the Jesse Waters Show.
We're actually in the process of tracking down 2 specific documents. And also, too, Jesse, I would like to actually tell the American people, it was made aware to me this evening that NBC actually has a video that's never been seen before. We're actually going to be sending a letter requesting that from NBC.
How did you just find out about this? Like, the conspiracy theorists knew about this for a while. How are you just finding? Well, it's not just one video; it's multiple videos. Now, there's also multiple documents. There's also interviews. There's one specific interview with LBJ and then the current head of the CIA that, again, still hasn't been released yet. But Anna Paulina Luna still goes on here, and you're just finding out about this now?
Because it allegedly shows Oswald near the vehicle when the assassination took place, which means that he couldn't have been the shooter. So, again, we're tracking down all this information. But look, there's even a CIA document that came out that Mr. Morley pointed out that actually said that the CIA never bought the lone gunman theory. And so I think the American people had an inclination as to what we were saying, but we never had the hard evidence until now.
Yeah, many forensic analysts and many theorists and scientists are talking about the magic bullet theory, and obviously you needed more than one shooter here. Congresswoman Anna Paulina even talked about, hey, there's probably 2 shooters here, as there is a lot of lore surrounding this, as there's a photo that has been going around the conspiracy circles showing a man that allegedly at first people thought was Lee Harvey Oswald, but that man was actually identified after the authorities looked for him. He came forward, and this individual was named Billy Lovelady. And he came out and said, yep, it was him. He was actually an employee of the school book depository, and he looked a little similar to Lee Harvey Oswald. Now, is that the video footage that NBC News has? Well, a lot of other theorists don't believe so, as we have some very interesting testimony from Larry Hancock, who came out and talked about something really important on the Redacted News show, highlighting what a lot of us knew for quite a while. But let's finish off the statement by this Congresswoman, because it's very important. to understand the full context of all of this.
And so it's important to note that in a free and fair society, how could you operate or have an agency operating in the shadows? And so kudos to President Trump, also Director Radcliffe and Tulsi Gabbard for pushing for this transparency. It is going to be generational changing that they've done this. And we hope to bring forward legislation to ensure that this never happens again for future generations to come.
Yeah, the legislation's needed. The Republicans have been just sitting on their butts here for far too long. They need to get legislation passed now.
You're saying NBC has been keeping this tape of Oswald under wraps?
Multiple tapes, not just one tape, multiple tapes.
Correct. In fact, Director Stone actually told us that he was showed this tape, that it was a secondary copy, and that he said that this could blow open the entire JFK investigation. What I will also tell you, though, Jesse, is he said that NBC has been very, very much so guarding this tape. And so I believe that that tape belongs to the American people. We are going to be sending a letter asking for that tape. And I would encourage everyone to ask NBC to release that tape to the public. It's important, not just for our investigations, but so the American people know the truth as to what happened with John F. Kennedy.
Yeah. Now, why would NBC News have a major bombshell tape? They could give to researchers, they could give to the U.S. government, they could give to us, the people. Why wouldn't they do that? Well, as we found out through the Church Commission hearings many decades ago, the CIA infiltrated the heads and the tops of all of these media organizations, and they pull their strings, and they tell them what to say and not to say, and it wouldn't surprise me if there is some kind of larger underhanded effort against the American people that specifically is denying them these videos. And again, multiple videos, specifically pointed out by Larry Hancock here. He is a researcher and investigator. He's been looking into the JFK assassination for an extremely long time. And he hit the nail on the head 2 days ago before this bombshell was released. He was specifically talking about, actually, it's a lot more than just that here. And researchers are doing their best to get their hands on this tape. But NBC News not complying here. Now, this is the time where all of us respectfully, peacefully raise our voice and say, NBC, let go. Publish the goods. Put it on your website. Put it behind a paywall. I don't care. Release it. Get it out there to the general public as soon as possible for clear transparency and accountability of the intel agencies. As there's a lot of different videotapes out there. There's a Zapruder film, then there's like an altered film, and then we're left guessing here. All of those answers are within NBC's hands, and they don't have the best track record here, specifically when it comes to a lot of their very bad reporting. We'll get into that in a little bit. And before playing this clip with this bombshell testimony that came out days ago, we want to tell you about WeAreChange.shop. We got some of the best supplements in the game right now, as one of my favorites is Essential Fatty. It is fish oil derived from small fish. Lots of the big fish out there filled with heavy metals, mercury, and a lot of really other horrible stuff. But this is the perfect way to get healthy fish oils, EPA, DHA, into your system, as of course there was just new data highlighting how fat found in women's buttocks actually helped babies' brains. Yep. As scientists, this is according to the Daily Mail, say curvy women produce more intelligent children. No, I don't know if that's exactly true, but it does make sense why males are fascinated with the female badunkadunk. Okay, I said it. I'm sorry, I said it. I like Essential Fatty. Listen, you're a white woman trying to get a badunkadunk. This might be something you should be looking into, as I like it. My doctor recommended I take fish oils, and I was like, okay, let's see what they got. Lots of them are like kind of scammy. Lots of them are not really sourced well. This is some good stuff. I enjoy it. My blood test levels increased with in all the positive ways by taking supplements and then also doing things in my own personal life. So WeAreChange.shop. Get yourself some essential fatty. Again, that's why we call it essential fatty, because again, the lore here is real. Okay, all right. You know, you want to be those big booty Latinas. They sure probably have a lot of fish oils. Anyway, let's continue on with what Larry Hancock had to say 2 days ago on the Redacted YouTube channel.
I could just elaborate on that one thing. There are several other films, and when I talked about Representative Luna and the work that her committee could do, there are several films that were held back by the media companies that acquired them, NBC being one of them. If we really want to resolve some outstanding questions that have come up, including the fact of a person that's been talked about a lot as Lee Harvey Oswald, shown in front of the school book depository at the time of the shooting, which needs to be put one way or the other. We need the originals of those films. And
that NBC has
organizations
that they've been sitting on.
They've been sitting.
That's right.
So we've never have we? Are they on the internet anywhere? Have we ever seen them?
We've seen second and third generation copies. What we need is the original. That takes us into internet.
Our own media,
right? You don't want to go into internet photography.
Okay.
Yep, as the pressure now remains on these media organizations, explicitly NBC News. Where are the videotapes? The original videotapes that I think would, help give us a lot of questions here, because people were saying, "Hey, the CIA wasn't going to write in their own documents that, dear diary, today we took out the president of the United States." Of course, that didn't happen. We got little tidbits of stuff here. Very interestingly, the information that we did get on Oswald, or that he had, quote, no knowledge of communism. He really wanted to go hunting near military installations for some reason, and he had no shooting ability. And then he pulled off what a lot of professional shooters call almost an impossible shot with a $26 rifle. Are you kidding me? As the CIA also, according to these documents, tried to squash a story about Oswald being recruited by the CIA while being stationed in Japan, as he came out right before he was taken out, and Lee Harvey Oswald said this.
One statement, please. I'd like some legal representation. These police officers have not allowed me to have any. I don't know what this is all about.
Kill the president?
No, sir, I didn't. People keep asking me that. Sir?
You shoot the president?
I work in that building.
Were you in the building at the time?
Naturally, if I work in that building, yes, sir.
Back up, man. Did you shoot the president?
No, they're taking me in because of the fact that I lived in the Soviet Union. I'm just a patsy.
President?
Quote, I am just a patsy. Now, very interestingly, ever since the JFK documents were released, we didn't really hear anything from Bobby Kennedy Jr., a man who I personally interviewed a while ago, who came out and said, yeah, the CIA took the life of my uncle and my father, RFK and JFK. As this is what Bobby Kennedy had to say about Lee Harvey Oswald.
Surprise recently to most Americans, I think, the release of these documents in which the press, the American media, finally acknowledged that, yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald was a CIA asset, and he was recruited, in 1957. He was a Marine working at the Atasui Air Force Base, which was the CIA Air Force Base, with the U-2 flights, which was a CIA program, and that he was recruited by James Jesus Angleton, who was the director of counterintelligence, and then sent on a fake defection to Russia, and then brought back, to Dallas, and people didn't know that.
Yep, as of course, according to the CIA, he was, quote, on their radar. Yeah, still, a lot of information is missing. Some of the JFK documents are still redacted, and once you start kind of extrapolating the little documents there, the coincidences there, the cover-up here, you see the very kind of shady behavior by a lot of the people who just want this story to go away. They just want to sweep it under the rug. You look at how vehemently they have been hiding a lot of this classified documents away from the general public. It does highlight, there's graver implications here that are worth pondering and considering, especially with what just happened to Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania a few frickin' months ago. Another event shrouded in mystery, and the intelligence agency saying, whoopsie-doop. We can't get into encrypted phones. Who would have thought? Well, as they previously described how they could. Again, I think Larry Hancock here does provide the best kind of analysis with what he thinks happened here overall. Here's his 2 cents on everything.
2 to 3 shooters, a paramilitary exercise by people that were trained, very well proficient in infiltration, exfiltration. These were people that knew what they were doing. This is not a shooter contracted by the mob. It's just somebody goes in and takes a shot and makes it.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, it's the mob, it's the mafia. Really? You're telling me the mafia is the one that also told the media to shut up, told everyone to stay in line, and had power over everybody in power within the United States? Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't buy that at all here. People are saying, it was the Cubans, it was the Russians. If it was, it would have been some severe ramifications for those particular actions, and there would have been a retaliation. The only plausible kind of explanation, after so much abundant circumstantial evidence, is that overwhelmingly, yeah, it was the intel agencies. Probably a rogue group within the CIA that said, yeah, this guy, he's pissing off the Federal Reserve. He's not going along with the he's not going along with Operation Northwoods. He doesn't want a full-on war with Cuba. He doesn't want to launch a false flag attack with civilian airliners being taken down, blamed on Cuba. He doesn't want to play ball. He wants to scatter us into the winds after cutting us into 1,000 pieces. As JFK was saying, I want documents on the UFOs. I want more transparency. I want more accountability. I need to rein in the CIA. And the CIA is like, you know what, buddy? We have a long track record and history of taking out world leaders and overthrowing democratically elected government. Why don't we just do that over here? That's my perspective. That's what I think happened here. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Get your Padunkadunk and get your fish oils on wearechange.shop. Sign up to the email list. We're doing a free giveaway, free contest. And if you're not specifically inputting what kind of gift you want, you get just a gift that we have that we're going to have handy for you. So, again, lots of contests, lots of giveaways, all on wearechange.shop. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.